3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Bring it in, everybody. We're done streaking. Put those clothes back on.
Put your clothes back on.
Just when you thought the Nuggets had it all figured out at the right time for the playoffs and take a huge lead in the first quarter of game 2, this team just goes back into their old ways of bad bench minutes, poor execution down the stretch to lose a pivotal game 2 against the Timberwolves, tying the series 1-1. Welcome back to the Wash Nuggets podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Patrick Kennedy, also known as PK, and I'm joined by Matthew Hinnon, also known as Matty Ice. How are you doing tonight, Matty?
I'm hot, man. I'm still frustrated. It was a hot topic at work today, and I'm not over it. So we're going to talk about it.
We're here to discuss this one for you guys. But if you haven't already, go down below, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. We'd love for you to be a part of a growing community that we have here at the Wash Nuggets podcast. This is your place to be for weekly content. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to break down that heartbreaking game 2 loss against the Wolves, what went right, what went wrong, and what adjustments needed to be made for the Nuggets to get back on that championship game track, that championship mentality, that whole track that we need to get back on. Matty Ice, why don't you go ahead, break this game down 2 for us, give us a fast breakdown.
Yeah. Well, I just want to take a note. The Nuggets did win game 1, 116-105 at home. Looked kind of shaky at times, but the Timberwolves didn't really figure out the Nuggets defensively. Nuggets were able to take advantage of the Wolves' defense, and it led to a win. But for game 2, we're going to get right into it. I am going to throw up the lead tracker here, which you can see all of the ups and downs, the longest runs. We had 7 times this game was tied, 15 lead changes in this game. It was absolutely insane. So the Nuggets come out with their regular starters, Jokić, Murray, Gordon, Cam Johnson, and Christian Brown. Ball Arena is popping, and in the first quarter, Murray starts us off with a huge 3, set the tone for the first quarter. I thought Nuggets get down a little bit early. Ant has an immediate response with a 3, and then the Nuggets just start piling on the points. AG had this crazy bounce dunk that belongs in the dunk contest, which was awesome. The vibes were immaculate. 3 early turnovers for Denver in the first 5 minutes, though. So the turnover situation was pretty bad early. Randall got a couple of open looks from 3. He was 0 for in the first game and then hit his 2 3-pointers right out of the gate. Cam Johnson had a 3. He was 1 for 2 early. And then timeout Minnesota after a CB and 1 layup. The and ones were a crazy just storyline in this game. Yeah. And Anthony Edwards was just hot about Denver's and 1 situation. But Tim Hardaway Jr., instant shot right out of that timeout with a 6:32 left to go in the first quarter. Tim Hardaway Jr. came in for Cam Johnson, started off on fire. Murray hit an and 1 and then had another and 1. Both of those were from 3. The first one, he high-fives a bunch of fans in the front row, which was awesome and crazy. He had me dying. Tim Hardaway Jr. had an and 1 3, timeout Minnesota with 2 minutes left to play. Tim Hardaway Jr. in this first quarter had 2 incredible plays back-to-back. He had a Dennis Rodman save on the ball from going out of bounds, and then draws the 3-on-1 charge at the other end. So he gets the save. Nuggets turn it over. Tim Hardaway Jr. is the only guy back on the court, takes the charge, goes back Denver's way. End of quarter number 1, the Nuggets are up 39-25, and in the second quarter, it all goes downhill from there, as you can see on the graph. There was a bad David Adelman challenge, I thought. Ended up winning the challenge, but not in the way that they thought. It ended up being a foul on Aaron Gordon for that one. Nuggets lose a 19-point lead and go down 4, and the Nuggets just went cold on offense and couldn't stop a drive on defense. They battle back towards the end of tends towards the end of the second quarter, and at halftime tied up with a Jamal Murray heave. That was like the only thing that went well for the Nuggets in the second quarter. And they end the half 64-64 tie game. Start of quarter number 3, I just thought some bad Jokic passes. Nuggets were cold from 3. They looked really lazy coming out of the gate. Jokic airballed a 3, which I thought was weird. He'll go on to airball another one before the game is over. The next note I have is just horrendous basketball for the Denver Nuggets. Just absolutely terrible basketball, even though they're keeping the game close and going back and forth with the lead. Ant started to drive by everybody. The Timberwolves just started to figure out that they can drive by the perimeter defense of the Denver Nuggets. Bad fouls on kind of both teams. This is when it started to get a little bit chippy, and the refs started to kind of make it a little bit about them. They were in the first half as well, but definitely in the second half. A couple of bad fouls to end the quarter. Denver is up 93-90 at the end of quarter number 3. Quarter number 4 starts. Bruce Brown comes in, hits a huge 3, and then he hits another one. So he had 6 really quick points to start the fourth quarter, and then Denver's interior defense started breaking down. They looked gassed, and with 8:51 to go, Denver has a timeout to challenge a play. They end up winning that challenge. It's 101-100 Nuggets, and Julius Randle started bullying Cam Johnson inside. Jamal was taken out at 6 minutes to go. He played 42 minutes, so they gave him a minute and a half rest in the fourth quarter. Clutch time starts. CB has a dunk and Minnesota timeout with 5:52 to go in the game. Jokic has another air ball. He had
Doesn't
two.
hit any.
It didn't hit anything. Didn't rim backboard, nothing. And that prompted the Wolves to take the lead 108-107. That's the last time the Nuggets would have the lead. 2 fast breaks for the Wolves led to 110-107 Minnesota lead. Timeout Denver with 4:06 to go. Nuggets are cold. Rudy gets his 5th foul. The Nuggets just start to choke in that fourth quarter, and that's all the notes I have. End of the game was 119-114. Minnesota takes the win in Denver. The one thing that I didn't put on here that happened is that Jamal Murray had a chance to tie the game from 3 with about 10 seconds left to go, and he said post game that they had a timeout and he just needed to get a shot up. Jamal Murray opts to take the hardest shot in basketball, which is a almost fadeaway long 2, and he misses.
Yeah.
And
I hated that so much.
another step back, and he would have had a 3. So, and yeah, that was over Rudy Gobert too. So just a really tough stretch there for the Nuggets at the end. Had a chance to tie the game and send it into overtime. Nuggets looked gassed. Minnesota takes this one 119-114 in Denver. The series goes to Minnesota next. Post game thoughts, Pat. I'll let you take this. What do you got?
Oh man, it's hard to be mad at Jokic when he puts up a stat line of 24, 15, and 8. But I mean, the box score for him doesn't do the justice. I mean, Jokic, it wasn't a great game from him. He was, let's see, 8 of 20 from the field. That's unlike him. Airballing, like, I've never seen him airball that many threes, like when it matters. That was just brutal
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
And I think him not playing well caused him to be passive, especially down the stretch. You think about that second to last possession. He has a chance for, one of his signature shots, the floater in the paint. Had a great look at it, but instead chooses to dish it off to Christian Brown. Christian Brown goes to the line, goes 1 of 2. Had a chance to tie it up with 2 free throws. But I'm mad that Jokic didn't take that shot. That's his shot. You want the best player taking the game tying shot. And I don't know, man. We're gonna break it down more for you guys, but Matt, what were some of your post game thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Jokic was a little too indecisive, man. His high scoring quarter was I think 14 in the third quarter or 16 in the third quarter. He had some late passes that led to turnovers. He just looked indecisive on the offensive end of the ball at the moment, and his decision to give it to Christian Brown on that floater. So when Christian is surrounded by three guys and AG is open in the corner, is not a decision you see made by him often or ever.
Yeah.
And that was just a hard one to stomach. It was just a really odd Jokic game, really odd situation from him. I thought the team was lazy last night. I really do.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of guys weren't ready to get the ball. I thought there were some bad reads by a lot of people other than Yoke. I was watching a replay today just to get another feel of the game, and there was one play in the third quarter where Jamal Murray gets double teamed at the logo just past the half court line and tries to pass it out to Jokic, and the ball gets stolen and it's a 3-on-1 the other way. And I look at that kind of play and I'm like, just move the ball. You guys, I
Yeah.
mean, Minnesota plays fantastic defense. That's, we're not going to dispute that at all. But if you can dribble to the wing, get some guys moving, I just thought, I just thought that was a situation that could have been controlled a lot better. Need to execute in the clutch and find ways to play defense. The biggest one is you got to find a way to play defense. You got to find a way to slow them down. I thought Jokic had a pretty interesting quote after the game that I'll pull up. He said, "We should have made more defensive plays and made it more difficult for them." And I
No shit.
yeah, no shit. Yeah. I agree with this statement 100%, but it kind of seems like, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, they're professional basketball players and it's harder than it looks. But not for Minnesota, apparently. And you have the best,
Yeah.
they're going up against the best offense in the league, and they shut them down last night. So very, very interesting situation. Something our producer just pushed on to us. Just want to go over this real quick. The 76ers just upset the Celtics in game 2. So upsets are happening all around the league. So interesting little bit of news for you there. But
Yeah.
let's move on
Yeah.
to
I got
go
one
ahead.
more like post game thought. I mean, like you said, we're not the only ones losing to lower seeds. So, I mean, that's NBA playoffs. Anything can happen. And even when you go up 19, like we did last night, a team like Minnesota, they're not a bad team. Any team in the
Yeah.
NBA that's playing playoff basketball is not a bad team. You get complacent against a team like that, something like last night's going to happen. And you know what? Nuggets kind of deserve to lose that game, but
Yep.
ready to
1000%.
move on if you are.
Yeah, let's move on to segment 2. We're going to do some wrongs and some rights. What went wrong and what went right? I want to start this one off because the Denver Nuggets in the second half of both of these games, games 1 and 2 against Minnesota, have shot 5 of 38 from the 3-point from beyond
That's
the arc.
horrible.
That's 13% over 4 quarters. The last 2 quarters in each game, third and fourth quarter of game 1 and 2, 13% from beyond the arc. That's not going to get it done. Looks like they have a little bit of jitters coming out in the second half, or they're just not getting open looks. And I know it's been a huge topic that Nikola Jokić has had a pretty bad defensive stint against teams. And I'm not going to say that that's completely wrong, but Nikola Jokić defended 23 shots last night, and the Wolves shot 9 of 23 when he was the closest defender. That's 39%. Julius Randle was 2 of 5 in his drives against Nikola Jokić, and Ant was 4 of 10. So he's not the I don't think he's the problem defensively. I think the Nuggets have a really awful perimeter defense situation. So that's just something that I don't know, man. I don't want to pin it all on Yoke, but
Yeah.
the whole team has
I
to be
mean,
better defensively. That's all I've been harping on that since the beginning. The entire team, especially perimeter defenders, have to be better.
I mean, that's been the name of the game all season is defense. I mean, we're ranked 22nd defensively, ranked first offensively. And when the defense isn't showing up, you better have that offense show up. And the offense didn't show up last night. And I mean, you see that case in point with Jokić, a single player. I mean, he doesn't show up defensively. He also doesn't show up offensively, and he gets exposed defensively. They continue to go at him. They continue to go at other bad defenders. There was the quote from Jaden McDaniels after the game. A reporter asked, like, what had to do with their success of the team. He said, "Go at Jokić, Jamal, all the bad defenders, Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, their whole team." And the reporter asked, "They're all bad defenders?" He goes, "Yeah, they're all bad defenders." Matt, I'm curious to see what your thoughts of this quote.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. AG, I think, is a little bit of a stretch in there. Christian Brown has not been playing the defensive to the up to the standard of defense that he usually does, so he's not wrong. Jamal is notoriously, not a good defender, especially with perimeter defense, and the Denver Nuggets don't have anybody else. Peyton Watson is the only guy that is athletic enough to go about that team, because Jaden McDaniels did say we're really more athletic than them, and you are really missing him if you're the Nuggets. But if you're the Nuggets, you have to have more than just one guy or two guys on the team that can play defense. Your perimeter defenders, your perimeter guys have to play at least decent defense to be able to win games like this. So he's not wrong, to be completely honest with you. He's not wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to go about saying it like that in a post-game presser. I think that's a little bit of a, it's definitely a slight. And, maybe after the game when your emotions are still running high, that's the crap that you say, but he's not wrong.
Yeah. I'll go through what I thought has gone right and what's gone wrong so far this series. I thought most of what went right, it comes from game one. Definitely helps to have the win with that. But the Nuggets found a way to exploit Minnesota's defense enough to win the game. And I think that they solved the Gobert matchup against Jokić. They were able to pull him out to the perimeter. They spread out their offense, which opened up the paint. And then what went wrong was, I think Minnesota kind of realized that. Gobert got into foul trouble, which kind of helped Minnesota. So that small ball lineup really helped for the Wolves. And Denver just failed to make an adjustment, as they always do against small ball lineups. What also went wrong, Jamal and Jokić only combined for 4 points in the fourth quarter. They were both playing passive of like, who's taking over? Like, is it your turn? Is it my turn? It's just kind of a really weird dynamic that we haven't really seen. It's like very uncommon of our 1-2 to act that way. I really didn't like that. And so far this series, Jokić hasn't been good. He just hasn't looked like the best player in the world, hasn't lived up to the standards that we know that he can play at. And this can kind of be a good little segue into our last segment, Matty Ice, if you're ready to move on. What type of adjustments do the Nuggets need to make to get back on track, to get back to that championship mentality, and to, take care of the Wolves? What do you got for us, Matt?
I only have 2 points here, and so I'll go quick. Better perimeter defense. I've been harping on it. I don't think it's not going to change overnight, but at least you can make some sort of adjustment. I think the way that Denver closes out, their guards close out, the way that they don't get back to help defense when the ball is swung around, playing in that zone. I think that zone kills them. I really do. I think the zone defense kills the Nuggets. I really do. That's just my take. That's just what I've seen. They don't play well in that zone defense. And then you got to execute from beyond the arc, especially in the second half. You're the best 3-point shooting team in the league this year. You're the best offense in the league this year. You got to execute. It's it is the playoffs. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different feeling, 1000%. But you still have to show up and make those plays. You still have to show up and hit open shots. I remember watching. There was a Cam Johnson 3 and there was a wide open Christian Brown 3. I mean, the Christian Brown 3. There was nobody within 20 feet of him. Everybody
Yeah.
else was on the opposite side of the court, and CB gets thrown a ball right in the shooting pocket. Looks cash. I mean, I've seen him make those shots before. He's not the best 3-point shooter, but he hits. We've been praising him for hitting the open ones throughout this 13 game winning streak, and he misses that. And I was watching with my girlfriend. I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, he has to make those. Those are the ones we have
Yeah.
to make. And then shortly after, Cam Johnson misses another one. I'm like, all right, if the Nuggets are going to do this, then, that really blows. Nikola Jokić hit one in the second half, but wasn't enough. So that's what I've got. Perimeter defense, and you got to execute beyond the arc.
Yeah, I've got a few adjustments that the Nuggets can make, but I think it all starts with Jokić. He just has to have his foot on the gas every single quarter. He just has to be in takeover mode. You see some quarters where he's a little bit more passive. He's, passing the ball, and that works. We saw it work in quarter one last night where he's kind of more playing that facilitator role. But when it starts falling apart, he needs to, flip the switch or, join what's going, like join the guys, join the 3-point party, join the paint party. You can't have 2 points in the first quarter. You can't only have 4 points in the second quarter. He had takeover mode in quarter three with 16 and then only 2 points in the fourth quarter. Not what you want to see in 3 of the 4 quarters from Jokić. He just needs to stay aggressive, even when the shots aren't going in. And that passiveness might just have cost them the game on that second to last play, like I pointed out earlier. Instead of going up for one of his signature shots, that floater, he just chooses to dish it off to Christian Brown, and he goes 1 of 2 from the line. You'd much rather have Jokić take that shot. And then just go back to owning
I would
Rudy.
rather Jokić floater over Christian Brown
100%
at the free throw line.
100%. Yeah. Just go back to owning Rudy. Keep exposing him, pulling him out on the perimeter if needed. That way we can open up the paint or just continue to go at him, even if he's locking down once in a while. You're hitting hook shots over Victor Wembanyama. You can do it against Rudy Gobert. You've done it before against him. Other things, maybe you could test out, including Strother with the bench unit. The bench unit's just got to be better. Big Val's got to be better. Just other guys need to step up, and we'll see what Adelman decides to do with the bench next game. But my last adjustment is just for the team. You got to take Jaden McDaniels' comments really personally. This is a real rivalry in the NBA, arguably the best rivalry in the NBA right now. Nuggets aren't treating it that way. They have to treat it that way and punch them in the mouth on the road. Game 3 will be the biggest test for the Nuggets. Take those comments personally, punch them in the mouth.
Absolutely. One of the other things you mentioned, Julian Strother, I agree with that. But it's also finding a way to give Murray and Jokić a little bit more rest, man. Like,
yes,
Big Val. You mentioned Big Val stepping up. Big Val can play in the series. I 100% think that Big Val can play in the series. The only problem is he has to play better in the minutes that he's given. He cannot go out there in those minutes and get 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes and send him to the free throw line. And now all of a sudden they've got the advantage. They've got all the momentum.
Yeah,
because
we've seen
the Nuggets were, they were gassed. They were just gassed. So you got to get them. You got to get them more. You got to get them more rest. Dude, Jamal Murray playing 42 minutes is brutal. Jokić playing 40 minutes is brutal. Even AG playing 36 minutes coming off the injury. That's crazy, man. He's not going to move the way you want him to move. You play him 36 minutes. So
yeah, all of our main guys are banged up. Bench has to help out. If I'm so mad that we didn't take that game too, because where the Nuggets are at physically, every game is so crucial for how long you want to last in this playoffs. If you want to be fresh for San Antonio, for OKC, you got to take care of business early. And so far the Nuggets haven't done that, but they still have an opportunity to take this series in 5 or 6, which I think they can do. It's time to grow up. You can't slide back into your old ways of doing the way you were doing the season in the regular season. Something's got to change. And I think it'll be a wake-up call.
I agree. I think it should be a wake up call. The way that they responded, the way that they were kind of going about their pressers, man, they like it. I really hope it resonated. It looked like it resonated.
Yeah.
One more thing before we get going here to segment 4 is, if the Denver Nuggets do in fact go 6 or 7 in this series, you're at a real disadvantage for the gauntlet of teams that you're going to face going forward. San Antonio's going to be there, barring a crazy miracle, and so is Oklahoma City. So if you go 6 or 7 games with Minnesota, you're going to be wiped by the time you get to San Antonio. And if you take San Antonio to 7 games, which is most likely going to happen, you're going to be wiped by the time you get to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
If you win that series. So it becomes increasingly harder for the Nuggets to get going and to get a rhythm in and to stay healthy and stay rested when you lose games like this one. That's all I got.
And I mean, we saw that last playoffs too. Imagine if we didn't go to 7 games in 2 series last year, right? I mean, we're probably much fresher for that OKC series. AG's probably feeling good. I mean, he doesn't. It's just. So it's a game of what ifs. Each game, you want to minimize the amount of games you have to play in the playoffs, and that's what good teams do. That's what championship teams do. There's still time to figure it out. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
still got time.
Let's move on to our last segment here. We're going to end on a high note for you guys, with some end of the season awards. We got 3 guys that are nominated for some big time awards. One of them just came out. Jamal Murray was a nominee for the Clutch Player of the Year, along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards. Jamal finished second, which I'm pretty happy about. I was kind of hoping that he'd finish first, but SGA, he's really good in the clutch. I mean, he had some clutch shots against us this year. Not surprised by this one, but happy that Jamal finished second. Do you have any thoughts about that one, Matt?
I don't have any thoughts. I think he's right where he needs to be in the voting category. I think he deserves to be a finalist for sure. Definitely right in front of Ant. Love that.
Yep.
And I just think that's where he needs to be. I mean, SGA is a insane clutch player, and I think he deserves that one. I don't think he deserves anything else. To be completely honest with you, but great showing from Jamal, especially with the year that he's had. Very happy for him.
Yeah, definitely ironic timing that he finished in front of Ant for
absolutely
Clutch Player of the Year, and he's got a chance to prove it here.
Absolutely,
no better time than now. Another guy that was nominated, THJ, nominated for 6th Man of the Year with Keldon Johnson and Jamie Jacquez Jr. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. That one will be announced tomorrow. So I honestly think that THJ is the front runner for this one. What do you think?
I can't.
Hammy.
Yeah.
Jack. Hammy Jacquez.
Hammy Jacquez.
our super producer is correcting me.
Hawkes. Hammy Hawkes Jr. Okay. For Tim Hardaway Jr., I can't see a world where he isn't. I think he's been the pivotal X factor for this team throughout the regular season. He's played in so many games. He's had so many great sparks for this team coming off the bench that I think the Nuggets are a playing team without him. I really believe that. I really believe that. So I hope he finishes first. And the 2 plays that he had in the last game definitely, I think, cement that for me with the save out of bounds and drawing the charge.
Yeah. Our super producer is correcting us once again. It's Hammy Hawkes. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
There we go.
No disrespect to him.
Sorry.
Homie.
Sorry, homie.
Anyways.
And then Jokić is obviously a nominee for the MVP with SGA and Wemby. We won't know that for another few weeks. So we will we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
What's your prediction for that? Where do you think he finishes? Right now he's
I think he finishes third. I think he finishes second or third. Honestly, SGA is going to win it. Whatever.
I think he finishes second. And I think it might be a little bit closer than we think it will be. I saw that Bill Simmons voted for him, and he kind of changed his mind last minute. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he somehow wins it. If he does, I did place a late season bet of $5 to win 500. So
There you go.
fingers crossed.
There you go. Fingers crossed. That'd be huge.
But
All right.
we'll close
Well,
this one out for you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get on out of here. Game 3 is Thursday, April 23rd at 9:30 Eastern time. You can catch that game on Prime Video. It is going to be back in Minnesota. The Nuggets better come ready to play, or else this is going to be a real short series. Pat, what do you got for that game? What do you think is going to happen?
Show up. Don't F around and find out. Punch first. I mean, it's time to make a statement after those comments.
Absolutely.
What are you about? What are you about? What are we about?
Anyways, what are you about?
Subscribe. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've made it this far, go leave a comment. If you made it this far, tell us what you think. Matty Ice, hit that outro button. I'm tired. See you guys.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.